Hello everyone, welcome to English Talk of Naorem Somoranjit with the topic Harnessing the Power Within. In studio with me is Sri Naorem Somoranjit Singh, ISKCON Devotee, and he was serving as Regional Director in the Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India. Oza, it's a pleasure to be sitting with you here.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure for me too, and I'm very grateful to All India Radio for inviting me.
Since our topic is harnessing the power within, normally Oza, we do hear terms like inner power, inner strength, the power within, and many more. Normally, what is the power within? How can it be illustrated so as to be perceived clearly by the masses?
Thank you. We all have power, and power can be divided or seen from two angles. One is external power, and that is related with the physical body. And one is internal power. Internal power refers to the capacity or ability to control, manage our own thoughts, emotions by awakening our innate potential of mental power, intellectual, spiritual potencies present within us.
Right.
It is an internal thing, like how you manage your own thoughts, emotions. Internal power refers to this.
Inner power. So, does it matter in today's dynamics?
Yes.
And if yes, then why its essentiality?
Yeah,
why its vitality?
It matters a lot.
Right.
It matters more than ever. One of the reasons is that, as I've said, we all have a dark side within us. You have lust, you have greed, you have anger, you have enviousness. In the modern times, today, more than ever, we have a lot of outside power. At a flick of your finger, you can access a lot of power. In terms of technology, in terms of internet, wherever you look, you have a lot of access to the power. It's like if you have a lot of outer power, then you are going to have a lot of problems. So for example, you have no control. Inner power means you have no control over your thoughts, you have over your mind, over your emotions. You have lust inside and access to outer power. In terms of internet, you have a longing for unwanted things, and you have access. And then you have anger within you. You have access to like mass destruction weapon. What is going to be the result? You will have mass killing.
Right.
It's like if you have no inner control, you have a lot of access to the external power, then the combination is very deadly. If you have a power, then you should have inner control. Without the inner control, if you have access to the outer power, then it is going to create a lot of havoc in your own life, in the society, as well as the humanity as a whole. That's how I put it.
Yeah, it's good to know how it affects human beings. But inner power, is it achievable through practice? Through the lens of practical wisdom, to be more precise.
Yes, yeah, it's achievable. Before we delve into how, we should see the dynamics of a human being. We operate in three levels. Like as in computer has a hardware, as a software, as a user also. Similarly, human being operates at three levels. First level is physical level. We have a body, and that's a physical level. Then you have a gross body. This is a visible part of the body. Then at the mental level, that is subtle level, you have a mind. We all know that we have a mind. You cannot touch the mind, but you know that you have a mind. You know you have an intelligence. You cannot touch it, so it's subtle. And you have an ego. That means how do you see yourself? How do you think yourself, who you are? I'm a man, I'm a Manipuri, I'm an outsider, I'm an officer. So like you have a physical body, there's a computer hardware, and this subtle body level is the software. And then you have an user, that is soul. Minus the soul, and the physical thing or mental is not going to work. It's going to be zero levels. This is the interaction. And our body has senses, like knowledge gathering sense. You have eyes for looking, then you have ears for hearing, you have nose for smell.
Right.
And then the outside world, for eyes you have form. This is not as sense objects. 5 sense objects and 5 senses. They combine, and this is how you live in this world. And then you get inputs from the sense object through the senses. The mind process it, of course, taking decisions from the distinct, taking guidance from the intelligence, and guided by the ego. Then you operate through the 5 working senses. So this is how we function. So if you have to have an idea of internal power, we have to have a working dynamics of the how a person functions. Not only physically, but mentally how he functions. Activating all these three is the soul. This is the first basic requirement that we have. Coming to this point, how to reawaken. Internal power is already within us. It's not something that you can buy and install it. It's already within us. So Bhagavad Gita talks about how to have a physical body which is compatible with good inner power. So like it says, Yukta Ahara Viharasya. Bhagavad Gita talks about you have to have a regulated life. I'm talking about the physical level first. Because inner power cannot be discussed in separation from the physical structure. That means regulated eating, sleeping, working, recreation. You have a balance of work life, relaxation.
Right.
Now we have too much of an exposure to recreation. Recreation is available in a mobile. You flick the mobile, you have access to all entertainment. It's like in a day you are exposed so many like data overload. This is how if we have a balanced recreation, balanced work, balanced diet. So if this regulation, if we maintain, then we can have a good physical body. So coming to the mind, what does it mind do? Mind is the storehouse of the impulses brought about by the senses.
Correct.
Right. So it is the storehouse. And mind can be your best friend. Mind can be your worst enemy. In Bhagavad Gita talks about the best friend. If you can control or manage your mind, this is your best friend. And if you cannot control it, this is your worst enemy. You're going to stay with the mind 24/7 by 365. The mind will be always with you. It's like how to train the mind so it can be my best friend. This is a practical approach. Mind's a very flickering nature, accepting, rejecting, accepting, rejecting. So if the mind is exposed to very temporary things, then the mind is going to be more fickle than ever. Mind already is very unsteady. Now what we do is that today we are exposed so much to the short clips like in social media.
Right.
And your mind is going to be like a TikTok brain. Short reels are there. They are being made so that they compel you to scroll them. Mind is going to be more unstable.
Getting attached to it all the time.
Yeah. Then focus is not possible. To strengthen the mind, focus is very much required. One has to have a focus. MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Harvard, they have done a study. The result of exposing ourselves to smartphone, there is a limit. Many of us cross the limit. And they have found that our attention span is being reduced to 10 seconds now. If we consciously move away, of course, and reading a physical book has become very difficult nowadays because our short span of focus. As long as we identify ourselves that I'm a body, the material things will give you pleasure. Our mind is going to run after all these things. If we fix the mind to something permanent, what is the permanent? As we have said, the soul within is permanent. There is no death, there is no birth. If we think ourselves as a body, whatever related with the body, if we focus on there, the mind is going to be very, very unsteady. And coming to the intellectual level, what is intelligence? It's like what is bad and what is good. It is decided by at the level of intelligence. We function mostly at the level of mind.
Right.
So now how to strengthen the intelligence? Intelligence is strengthened by the association with good wisdom through books, through the persons who have practiced the spiritual life. So actual knowledge means one is having knowledge. He should be developing this equal vision. In the Shastra says, Bhagavad Gita says, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavi Hasini Sunicha Eva Swapakacha Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita means someone who is knowledgeable. Samadarshina means equal vision. One who has true knowledge, he will see everyone with the same vision. How is it possible? Because the moment you develop the knowledge, with true knowledge, we realize that I am a soul and this is my body. And this is my mind. So once you see the soul, yourself as a soul, you realize that each and everyone, every living being has a soul, which is a part of God. You see a Brahman, you see an elephant, you see a cow, you see a dog eater with the same equal level. So like this knowledge can be obtained, this power of looking at everyone with equal vision is obtained when we refer to the Shastras. The scriptures. I'm not talking about a particular scripture. I'm talking about these spiritual scriptures. At a level of soul, there is a common sense. Minus the soul, the mind will not work, the intelligence will not work, the body will not work. So ultimately, it's the soul which is controlling all everything. When we realize that we are a spiritual soul, having a material body, having a subtle body, and this spiritual soul is a part and a parcel of the Almighty God, then you realize your relation with Him, God. When our inner power is slackened, there are two verses in Bhagavad Gita which talks about when you lose control over your emotions and how one falls down. It's a gradual step, but it is a very vivid example of how one can fall down. Like it starts with a thought, contemplation. Like it says about when you contemplate, first is contemplation for sense enjoyment. So in Sanskrit, Dhayato Visayana Pumsa. Pumsa means a person. Dhayato means contemplation. Visayan means sense objects. We have sense and objects for sense gratification. So when we contemplate for sense object, sense gratification, Dhayato Visayana Pumsa Sangas Tesu Upajayate. Your sangas means attachment. The attachment will start. When you start contemplating on an object for enjoyment, you develop attachment to that object. From that second step, third step is sangas sanjayate kama. As your attachment becomes stronger and stronger, you develop lust. Lust means very extreme case of attachment. A very high level, very extreme, very dangerous level of attachment. Now when you have kama, kamat krodha avijayate. When you have a strong desire and when your desire is not fulfilled, you develop anger. Lust, from lust, if not fulfilled, what you get is anger, and if your lust is fulfilled, what you have is greed. You wish more and more. So dhayato visayana pumsa sangas tesu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodha abhijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammoha means illusion. When you are angry, you are completely bewildered. Your memory is not going to work. So krodhat bhavati sammoha. Samohat smriti vibhrama. When you are in illusion, when you are in delusion, your memory is not going to work. Your smriti vibhrama, your memory is not going to work. And smriti brahmasat buddhi naso. When your memory is not going to work, your intelligence in your buddhi naso. Buddhi means intelligence is going to be destroyed. When your intelligence is lost, you end up doing anything nonsense. This is how the result of not having inner power to control your emotions, this is the result, how it takes place.
You talk about intelligence, mind, body, soul, with reference to the Bhagavad Gita. I was reminded of Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying Bhagavad Gita is India's biggest gift to the world. And I, just want to note how Gita transcends boundaries, providing a practical guide to meaningful life. Meaningful living that applies to all humanity.
Yes, Bhagavad Gita is a manual for each and every person. Normally, we look at people with a lot of designation that he's a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, but after all, we are a human being. And as a human being, we need a guide. For anything that you buy from the market, you have a manual. When you buy a car, you bring a manual, you get a manual. Manual tells you how to operate that object or gadget or that car, whatever it is. By using the object as per the manual, the gadget works better. So as a human being, this Bhagavad Gita is a manual. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is known as Visada Yoga. There, Arjun is crying. He has come to fight, but he cannot fight. He is in depression, he is in mental agony. So Bhagavad Gita is a book that makes a person, a crying person, a person who cannot work, stand up and do his duty. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, you'll find Arjun saying that, yes, my illusion is gone. I have regained my memory. I'll stand up and fight. Like Arjun, we all have difficulties in our life. So like we all have difficulties. We all have problems. Okay, you have a small problem, then you can solve it. But you have crisis in life. That is a crisis. How to face crisis in life? Bhagavad Gita is a manual. And this book is a book of action. It talks about how to have a healthy body, how to have a healthy mind, how to have sharp intelligence. We all want peace, don't we? We all want peace. We want happiness.
Therefore, it is relevant across the world.
Yeah, it's relevant.
I feel that nowadays, especially in Manipur society, spiritual awareness is not so strong among youths, despite our, traditions like La Harawa is internationally known, Sankirtana is UNESCO recognized. Despite all these things, spiritual awareness is not so strong. They tend to stay away from the very spirituality. And how do you see that?
Yeah. We have a life, we have a physical part, we have a spiritual part. It's like when you buy a bird and keep in a case, you polish the case, you clean the case, but you don't feed the bird. How is going to be the condition of the bird? The bird is going to suffer. Like we have a body. Running the body is the soul. If you don't do anything for the soul, but simply take care of the body, how is the soul going to be? It's going to be affected. So like, soul wants happiness. Anandamayo Vashat. Don't we want happiness? We want. Because it's the nature of the soul to desire happiness. The soul is going to demand happiness, is going to demand pleasure. So we run here and there to get pleasure, but we are never ever satisfied because the bird is not fed. Or you are polishing the case only. The youth, or for that matter anyone, we are in such a place where so-called spirituality should have been practiced. We have Lai Harawu, we have Sankirtan. Any spiritual life has to start at the point of understanding who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? I say my body, I say my mind. That means the body is owned, mind is owned by someone. And who's that? The soul. In practical level also, we all know that we have a soul. I say my father is no longer. When your father is lying on the ground, I will say that my father is no more. Arey Baba, your father is there, lying there. And he is my father's body. That time we realize my father and his body is different. So we have given very less importance to who am I. If I am a soul, where it has come from, what is its demand, what is the requirement of the soul, that we have not discussed. Of course, ritual is required, but you need spirit. Then you have to have spirit, you have to spiritual understanding. The ritual, it makes spiritual. So we put more focus on the
Ritual.
It's like a banana. You have a banana, the skin of the banana is the ritual, banana within is the spirit. So minus the skin, the banana, you cannot store it for a long time. So we need the skin, we need the banana. That is the reason why we need ritual also, we need spirit also. But combined together, it will make spiritual. And if we go to the spiritual level, many problems will automatically be subsided. If we see from that spiritual point of view, we are spiritual beings, part and parcel of the God. You call God by so many different names, but God is one. As we say sun, we say Namit, we say Surya, we call God by different names. We call sun by different names. Problem is that we have not been able to come to the spiritual level. That is why we have fights.
In this case, I'm reminded of a line of revered Manipuri poet Nilkanta Singh. Lamthung phamga lambelga samnadaba. Oja, you see, with your insights, could you share some stories of some persons who are immersed in the pursuit of the Supreme? Could you share?
Yes, I can talk about many persons, but one person comes in our mind. When we talk about inner power, inner power is not something that you have it and you destroy the whole society. You destroy yourself, you destroy the society, you destroy human being. Of course, Hitler had the inner power. How he used the inner power. He had determination, of course. But how he used in a wrong way. So when we talk about inner power means to reawaken the love that we have. The love we have for God, the love we have for the human being, the love we have for nature. This love is the greatest power. This love is the greatest power. And love can change people. Love can conquer people.
Right.
So there is a person. Once we realize you are a spirit soul, part and parcel of God, and He is so kind to you. He has given you the body, He has given you the mind, He has given you the intellect, He has given you everything. Whatever you need, He has given. And He is your best friend. You realize He is best friend. Sridam sarvabhutanam gyatamam santim rakshati. When you realize that God is your best friend, you attain peace of mind. So once you realize that you have a relation with God and He is loving, when you start having exchange of love between God and yourself, your life will be fulfilled. Your heart will be content. And you find people suffering because there is no heart in the love. There is no love in the heart. The heart is dry. They are separated away from God. They have forgotten the relation of God and themselves. So sadly people, what do? They come and tell us, they remind us that yes, You are a part and parcel of God, having an eternal relation with it. So they come and remind us. In my mind, the founder, Acharya of ISKCON, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, is such a person. You know, how he harnesses his inner power, share the love of God, that he has for us, and brought joy in our life. At the age of 69 and nearing 70, his guru or spiritual master asked him to go to the West and do something for the suffering people. So we forget God. We try to enjoy ourselves, and in the process we suffer. How he was empowered? Like, he was empowered with the knowledge that he is a part and parcel of God, and he wanted to share the love of God. He had gone to the West on a cargo ship with a trunk load of books, no fixed place to stay. In the cargo ship, and he had 2 heart attacks on the ship, and he could have died
During the journey.
It was a journey from Calcutta to New York, taking about more than 2 months. But his determination was so strong, and he landed in America with $20. Of course, he sold 1 volume of books to the captain of the ship. He got $20, and of course he had 40 rupees. And at the time when he landed in America, he did not know where is the East, where is the West. There was a family who is going to support him for 1 month. After that 1 month, he is on his own. Nowhere to stay. So how he survived in America, how he established this International Society for Krishna Consciousness in a place where nobody knows about who God is. Like, what is our relation? They're all hippies. Hippies means they break all the rules. So hippies became hippies. They became hippies. This is a person who had immense inner power with the conviction that, yes, I am a part and parcel of God. We have a duty to perform, and then by performing the duty, we get the love of God revived in our heart.
Oja, when you get the validation that comes with being known as spiritualist or devotee of ISKCON, since you have been a devotee of ISKCON and you were posted in the Ministry of Labor as a regional director, how do you see yourself?
Yes. See, we all have 2 dogs inside us. American Indian saying, there are 2 dogs within us. 1 dog represents the bad dog, and 1 dog represents the good dog. The bad dog symbolizes lower nature, like, lust, anger, greed, enviousness, many things, the lower nature.
Yes.
Then the good dogs represent the higher nature, that is love, compassion, caring. As an officer, as a human being, as I was working in the ministry, these 2 dogs will sometimes compete with each other. The bad dog will bark louder sometimes, and if given a chance, the bad dog will overcome the good dog.
Yeah.
Like when you develop this internal power, like, you can manage this bad dog so that it gets little, diminish in power, and the good dog gets more stronger. So, like, what I'm trying to say is that you get your ability to function as a human being, your ability to function as an officer, your ability to function as a member of the society can be strengthened when you allow the good dog to become stronger, and that's only possible when you have inner power.
It's intriguing, incredibly insightful. Finally, a short message to the youth which may correspond to 2026 New Year resolution.
Yes. We do a lot of things to make ourselves stronger externally. We go to the gym, we take care of our diets. Of course, it's very much required. We have to take care of our health. We have to take care of your muscles. That is required. But then we need to have internal muscles, inner muscles. Inner muscles means we should have the inner power to control our emotions. We should have the inner power to control our thoughts.
Right.
We should have inner power to control the temptations. As the saying goes, you sow a thought, you reap a action. You sow a action, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow character, you reap destiny. It all starts with a thought. And you have to have a strong mind, and the mind should be guided by the strong intelligence. And of course, the strong intelligence has to be guided by the soul. And of course, the soul has to be guided by the super soul, that is God. Our God is powerful, He is the ultimate in power. So if we link up with super soul, if we link up with God, then intelligence is going to be very sharp. our mind will be very strong. We will not be tempted by so-called temptations, so-called short-gain temporary enjoyment. We should practice how to make our inner power stronger.
Happy times, hard times do happen in life. In order to have permanent happiness, we need to, think of inner power. This is what you said. On that note, Oja, such a great time. Thank you once again for taking the time to do this.
Thank you very much.
Howjik tabikre English talk. Hiram harnessing the power within. Tharumsi the expert on election bikiba ISKCON gi devotee amadi Government of India gi Ministry of Labour and Employment gi Hanagi Regional Director Naorem Somoranjit Singh unajakiba Rahul Hidang. Tharumsi ga loinana ngasi gi oinadi Naharol gi khonjal thoram matang asdi losinjari tabiramliba singbu amukka hanna khurumjari.